All right, gang, day 3 of training camp. We're going to break this down. Not going to do a crazy ton of editing for this one because I'm exhausted. I've been painting a swing set for the last 2 weeks. I've been power washing and then fixing and now painting a swing set for the girls, and it's almost done, and I'm exhausted, so there's that. Supposed to go to training camp tomorrow. My ticket fell through, so if someone has an extra ticket that they're not using and would like to reach out to me, jetstalk247@gmail.com. Would love to go. I'll give you a shirt as a thank you if you got an extra ticket. But let's hop into our breakdown. This comes courtesy of KRL over on the Jet Nation forums. Day 3 of training camp. He says, players still in shirts and shorts. Today's practice ran an hour and 55 minutes. So we went from an hour and 45 to 2 hours and 15 minutes to an hour and 55. So roughly a 2-hour practice every week or every day. I wonder if continuity on both sides of the ball, 4th year for the defense, 2nd year on offense with Rodgers, is allowing more work/reps to be done in a shorter time frame. Would be a good question for the media to ask Robert Saleh. Yeah, that would be interesting to know if there's less time having to learn the playbook and more time reacting to the plays. It's kind of like when you have players that just know what they have to do. That's exactly what he's talking about here. And being able to run these plays more consistently or at a maybe a quicker clip than you otherwise would have with a new scheme. Tyron Smith was given a vet day off and coached up Olu Fashanu when he wasn't riding the bike. With Smith out, Fashanu took reps with the ones at left tackle. It's nice to see that, and honestly, this is like one of my favorite parts about this whole process is you're getting to see Will McDonald from last year, you know, unfortunately because Hassan Reddick is not there, getting a ton of reps, and with Tyron Smith getting his vet days to try and keep him healthy longer throughout the season, our new left tackle of the future is able to kind of work into the starting lineup and then also get some opportunities to mesh with those guys in the event someone gets hurt. So I really like seeing that. Mike Williams is progressing in his rehab, and he's now working with trainers on the side field, which that leads me to believe he'll be ready for the start of the season, which is the same time frame that Breece Hall came back for. We just kind of figured that there might be a little bit of a lag in terms of maybe learning the offense or having chemistry with Aaron Rodgers, where Breece Hall, you know, kind of knew his offensive lineman already and was going to be able to, I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of grasping at straws, but I think the healing seems to be right on pace for Mike Williams, so I'm looking forward to that. Morgan Moses is getting closer as he was more involved and physical in positional drills. So I think, was AVT back today? I think, AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, was a full participant and back at his right guard position. So Morgan Moses, we heard, might be back next week, although I don't know if that's back into the starting lineup or if that's back as like actually being more and more active on the practice field. Would be really nice to get our full starting line. I'm feeling a lot more confident right now than I was this time last year. I would say I was more excited last year and more confident this year. I don't know if that's the right way to put that, but I think it sounds right in my head. I would say the offense won this practice as they remained fairly consistent throughout, closing out practice by winning the red zone period and forcing the defense to do push-ups. It's always nice to hear that because our defense is always rock solid. The offense catching up is kind of nice to see. Special teams notes. 𝐂𝐟𝐟𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐚 made his first appearance of the summer and was a perfect 6 for 6 from 30, 33, 35, 37, 45, and 55 yards. This dude is an absolute weapon. Him and Tom Morstead are honestly two of my favorite players. Like, I was a punter in high school, and I, did a little bit of kicking. I didn't get to kick in a game, but always enjoyed a good field goal kicker. It gives you that confidence of like, I don't know, just like when you have a bad team and you have a bad kicker, it's like obvious that you're going to lose games because of your kicker. But when your team's better, you try to get the best kicker possible because you know that's what actually wins you games when it comes down to like you're probably going to see 2 or 3 games decided because of 𝐂𝐟𝐟𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐚, whether that's the foot that kicks it out of the back of the end zone or if it's the field goal that he makes at the end of regulation. I have absolutely loved him since he's been here, and our special teams unit has been awesome. Defense-wise, a day where second and third level players made plays as they tried to make the back end of the roster a practice squad. Michael Clemens set the edge well against the run in his reps and tackled Braylon Allen for no gain. Leaky Fotu and Tack McKinley teamed up on a sack of Tyrod Taylor. Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant, had an interception as he picked off a 30-plus yard pass from Andrew Peasley to Marcus Riley, showing good range as he roamed from the middle of the field to the sideline to make the pick. So that's really nice to see. Look, I'm not expecting a crazy ton of I'm not expecting a crazy ton out of our depth players like that we got in this draft. It's more of like, hey, we're expecting you to be more of the future as opposed to the right now. And you know what? These guys are trying to make names for themselves, whether it's not here on another team, because look, there's going to be good players that get cut from this Jets roster. We just have too much talent on this team. And it's a good problem to have. Jimmy, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce that right. 𝐂𝐟𝐟𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐚? Carlo? Linebacker. Got an interception as he snatched the ball from the hands of Kevin Folsch, tight end, on a 10-yard pass. Good for Jimmy. Finally, God, I'm going to jack up that name too. Naheem Shelton, cornerback, made a leaping interception of Peasley's pass in the end zone. Peasley! Yeah, not having a great day. Had a few interceptions there. Not ideal. But the defense is looking pretty good from a depth perspective. Ooh, words are hard right now. Offensive notes. Breece Hall had a couple of touchdowns in his reps, a 50-yard run off a slick ball fake and handoff from Aaron Rodgers. And during the red zone period, Hall caught a sidearm pass from Rodgers after he retrieved a high shotgun snap. So Hall just clicking on all cylinders. This dude's poised to have a monster season. Irv Charles is excellent on special teams, but has work to do on his hands if he wants to contribute at the wide receiver position. He had a bad drop and a 15-yard pass from Taylor. I feel like Irv Charles' job is kind of safe because you're talking about like wide receiver wise. You got Garrett Wilson, Corley, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard. Gibson, I heard, got knocked out. I don't know if he goes into it in this, but I heard Gibson had a lower leg injury. So maybe he winds up getting, bumped down a little bit depending on how long that goes. But I would think Irv Charles is going to be like the last receiver on this team that winds up making it due to special teams, unless they try to kind of shoehorn Lazard into there to give him more. We saw him practicing a little bit with special teams. So maybe he has a little bit more value added that way. Jason Brownlee has been made an appearance today as he made multiple tight window catches from Tyrod Taylor and Peasley in his reps. Braylon Allen is going to be fun to watch in the running back rotation. He has size of a linebacker and willing to run up the middle as he has very deceptive speed, which allows him to get to the outside. So I really like Braylon Allen. As far as like draft picks go from this past year, the two players that I was kind of really harping on in the mid rounds in most of my mock drafts was Braylon Allen and Jordan Travis. And the fact that Jets got both of them makes me really friggin' happy. I just whacked that microphone, so sorry about that. Really, really happy. So I'm pumped to see that he's actually producing well. I think Braylon Allen is going to be exactly what we were hoping Dalvin Cook would have been last year. And then even Isaiah Davis, the two-headed beast of like the backup running backs, I think are going to make it very difficult for Izzy Abanikanda. Quarterback notes. Big list today. Another good day for Aaron Rodgers as he had multiple touchdowns to Hall, Malik Taylor, and Tyler Conklin. But what was fascinating to watch was how he uses his cadence and pre-snap motion to decipher what the defense is doing. On one rep, he did the following: use cadence change to get someone on the defense to jump. That didn't work. Then he sent the running back in motion. The linebacker didn't follow him, indicating they were playing zone. Finally, he sent a wide receiver in motion. The cornerback followed across the formation, indicating the secondary was in man. With that knowledge, Rodgers then called for the snap and attacked the man coverage in the secondary as he zipped a 15-yard completion to Alan Lazard. This is where the just robotic nature of Aaron Rodgers and how he's able to decipher stuff pre-snap is so drastically different from like a lot of the different things we've seen as Jet fans and our quarterbacks, both with Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson and dating all the way back to Geno and Sanchez. And like, this is like very, I don't want to call it Pennington-esque, but Pennington, you kind of felt like he knew what was going to happen. Post-snap, he just didn't have maybe the athletic gifts to do what Rodgers really can. Tyrod Taylor with a couple of nice plays on the day. 40-yard bomb to Malik Taylor over Quantez Stiggers, and a fourth down touchdown to Jeremy Ruckert in the red zone period. Love seeing that. God, every time Jeremy Ruckert does something good, it just gets me so hyped up. Andrew Peasley continues to indicate that he could be worth investing in. Even though he didn't hit on his bomb attempts, he showed good vertical arm strength. Peasley also showed decent anticipation as he threw a 20-yard pass to 𝐀𝐟𝐟𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐵 before he came out of his route. I still think the Jets are only going to carry 2 quarterbacks. I think by the time this training camp is done, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor. That is it. And then I think Peasley's going to go to the practice squad, and I think Jordan Travis is going to get the IR for the season. I've been calling that since well before the draft, at least on the Jordan Travis side of things. But I think Peasley winds up making the practice squad, and then if you do have to go to an emergency third quarterback, you're just going to be handing it off to Breece Hall anyway. But it's nice to see that we're getting a little bit of success from our backup here, even though he had 2 interceptions today, or the last 2 days. I think it was 2 today. Standout players. We've got Aaron Rodgers again, 3 touchdowns, and then the backup defenders. 𝐀𝐟𝐿, thank you for putting together that list of everything that went on in training camp, because I just did not have the time to spend on Twitter today to try and find anything. So boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you guys have an extra ticket for tomorrow's training camp and you want to help me out, let me know. Shoot me an email, jetstalk247@gmail.com. Would love to go. And would love to hang out with you too. Drop a green heart down below if you made it to the end of this video, and I will talk to you tomorrow.